Hello and welcome back to another video. I just want to say thank you guys so much for 400 subscribers. I know I say this like every time we reach a subscriber milestone, and I said we because my channel is nothing without you guys. Yes, I make the videos, but you are the people that take a time out of your day and choose to watch my stuff. You have no idea what that means to me. Even if I don't get a ton of views, it's still showing me that people like the stuff that I do. And 400 subscribers isn't a ton of people when compared to someone with, say, a couple 100,000. But if you put 400 people in, if you shove 400 people in a room, that's still a lot of people. I believe that's about a seventh of my school. A seventh of my school has clicked that button. That red subscribe button. All I can say is thank you. Now this video, I am going to be showing you how I make my thumbnails. This is just the Kerbal Space Program video that I am uploading now. It's just gonna be scheduled for I don't know when yet. But I think what I'll do is just use like one of these shots from the little intro that I made. Which really, I didn't put a ton of effort in like I normally, like I would say for the Subnautica Below Zero, Green Hell, the Forest. The Forest one was so taxing on my computer. I don't know why. I think it was trying to use more RAM than I was giving it. And playback was only a few frames a second, and then rendering. It was faster to render with my CPU than the encoder on my graphics card. I think I can just use like say this, like that shot or something where it's like the rocket, like right here, and I'll copy the still frame and I'll see you guys in a second. Okay, so this is the thumbnail for my last video, not last video, my future video, my upcoming video, which is Green Hell Part 2. Which we're exploring around, and I find like an abandoned tribal village, and we learn some secrets about a ritual. I wanted to make it focus around this. Obviously in the larger view you can see I didn't do a good job with like selecting the bowl from the surroundings, but if you're on desktop you probably only see say about 20 this image in about 20%. And yes, it is noticeable. It's not as noticeable, but say if you're on mobile, you're only seeing like 10%, and you can't really see it. So yeah, what I try to do, what I normally do for stuff is just an outer glow and a drop shadow. Obviously, this is a bit more than that. What I was aiming for was to make the background. What I did was just took a still frame from my video, brought the brightness and stuff up a bunch, selected the bull, blurred the background so the bull would stand out a little bit. Quite a bit, and then I blurred the bull a tiny bit so it looked like this was out of focus and this was in focus. I did this intentionally. If you notice, like the outer letters, like we learned the and their ritual, are like darker reds than like secrets and 2. All of the outer words and letters are darker than the inner letters and words. I was kind of thinking of just making the thumbnail itself just still frame, but I think that would be a little bit on the boring side. What I think I'll do is paste the image over itself and see if it can select the rocket, which it can do, which I'll mask, which doesn't, it looks like it didn't do anything because if I deselect it, but if I deselect this, and I don't know, I'll bring up the vibrance in this so the colors kind of pop more. Yeah, I'm gonna bring the brightness down a smidge and bring the contrast. That's a little too dark. To about here. So right, you still have the bright oranges of the the flames of like the air friction, and then the flames from the boosters here. So I think this looks more realistic. I don't know about you if it's just me. And I'll also essentially do what I did the last thumbnail I just showed you. Blur this one to say about 4.5. So if I were just to paste a normal version underneath it, you would be able to tell the difference. Like this is the blurred one, not blurred, blurred, not blurred, not blurred, blurred. Alright, we don't need that layer. And I'll blur this one too, just a smidge. If I could select Gaussian blur, just say like 1.5, maybe even like 0.5 or somewhere in between. So it's like it's out of focus because it's moving kind of fast, and the background is more out of focus than is obviously out of focus compared to the foreground subject of the shot. You know, it's kind of funny how I found out I had 400 subscribers. I was just actually, let me find it. I just turned on some no copyright music and I just paused it. I hope I don't get claimed or striked for this. Essentially, I saw that I had 2 notifications, kind of what you can see right here with the 2 in parentheses. Like, oh, I click the bell over here and it just says rest in peace, by the way, 400 sub. Like, oh, cool. And here we are. What I could do is add like some text that says like how NASA really builds their rockets, or like what rockets really look like with an arrow. I think I'll do that. How rockets are really built. Now, obviously, I have to actually, why don't I use my 2 collective brain cells for a split second. I'll obviously have to resize it a bit. So, and not quite that big. Just add a simple outer glow. So, whoops, that's still the settings from the other video. Set the outer glow to something like this, and maybe a softer drop shadow. Like, distance be close, but the sizes. Let's bring the spread down to smidge, so it's like a bleh. So it's like that. And I need to find a red arrow, which I think I have one. Now, it wasn't a PNG, so I'll have to quickly get rid of the white by just selecting the color range and then masking it. Nope, wrong way. There we go. So it's just the red arrow. What? Oh, that's weird. And then I'll copy that, open that into a new thing, and just save it as an PNG. So I need to get rid of the white again, apparently, which is not cool, apparently. Delete, and then just, where is it? Export, and there's PNG. You can obviously kind of see the white around it a bit. Crank its size down a smidge, rotate it a little bit, so it's like pointing, so it's like pointing right there. Probably add a tiny drop shadow around that so it kind of covers up the white lines around it. A smidge followed by an outer glow. There you go. Yeah, I like this, so I'll just save this as the very creative name of thumbnail 2, because that's what I've done for a while. Just copy the name and just put it 2. Thumbnail 2. Make sure it's under 2 megabytes because that's the because if it's more than 2 megabytes, that's too big for YouTube and you have to change it in some way. Actually, before I'm gonna move the text a little. There we go. And that's how I make my thumbnails. If you want more like behind the scenes like videos like this, leave a comment down below. Subscribe if you happen to be new. Maybe we'll hit 500 or maybe even 600 depending on how this year goes. And notifications thanks to all, so you always know I upload next. I'll see you guys next video. Peace.